President-elect Donald Trump has slammed the CIA's claims that Russia meddled in the U.S. election to help him take office. He said the accusations were politically driven and created by his opponents to explain Hillary Clinton's defeat in November's vote.
Every week it's another excuse. We had a massive landslide victory. Hacking is very interesting. They have no idea if it's Russia or China or somebody. It could be somebody sitting in a bed someplace.
Well, what Trump is referring to is a confidential CIA report on Russia's alleged role in the election, which was reported on by the Washington Post. The outlet adds that Moscow's goal was not just to undermine the American electoral system, but, quote, to favor one candidate over the other for political interest. The CIA assessment was shared in a behind-closed-doors intelligence briefing. The report claimed individuals had been identified who were linked to the Russian government and who had given hacked Democratic emails to WikiLeaks. However, the intelligence agency has yet to provide any evidence. RT's Ilya Petrenko has been looking into the story a little bit further.
Have you heard? December 19th is the new National Day of No Return in America. That's when the mysterious people who make the U.S. election system the most complicated in the world are going to vote. The electors. That means the Trump haters only have about a week to do something about it.
Russia definitely had involvement in the American election.
Russia leaked Democratic Party emails to boost Donald Trump's chances of winning the presidential election race.
The CIA claims Moscow was trying to get Donald Trump elected.
Yes. Read the Washington Post this past weekend. Some unnamed officials who spoke on condition of anonymity told them the CIA shared its secret assessment with key senators in a closed-door briefing. Russia intervened in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump win.
The United States is not a banana republic. It's a great power. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you really think Russia can influence anything? Claims of Russian interference in the U.S. presidential election campaign are a mythical problem and hysteria.
Well, if all of this is such a bombshell, perhaps we can now get something concrete in the Washington Post. Nope. So, Trump and co. barked back. These are the same people that said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction.
You serious?
But hang on, that day of no return is coming.
Ask for a full investigation of the election tampering by Russia. Ask for an injunction delaying the Electoral College vote until the investigation based on the CIA intelligence is complete. Make sure you call your senator and rep too. People will take your calls seriously.
Right after the election, what did you see? You saw all of these bratty snowflakes taken to the street trying to overturn the American electoral process, a legitimate election. It's pathetic. Their moms hug them too much. And now when they get a little bit of adversity, something not going according to their plan, they freak out and take to the streets. And now you have this Russian hacking scandal. It really smells partisan to me. It really smells like this is another way where the Democrats are simply trying to undermine the electoral election process of the United States.
Can they do it? Make the college voters switch to Clinton? There are millions of Americans signing a petition, and some folks at the Huffington Post dug back to 1995 when a guy won a seat at the Pennsylvania State Senate but got replaced by his opponent because of fraud after a court ruling. Get it? There's your precedent.
Believe me, if this was the other way around and Donald Trump won the popular vote but lost the Electoral College, I guarantee you, you wouldn't have any of these issues. So if they really want to be serious about going to a popular vote, they should abolish the Senate, because that's ground zero for their undemocratic electoral process. So I think, again, it's sour grapes. It's an undermining of our election process. And if the shoe was in their foot, I promise you, you wouldn't have any of these ranting and ravings about getting rid of the Electoral College. It's pathetic. It's really pathetic.
Well, just continuing the reaction to all this, Craig Murray, a former British diplomat, has blasted the latest CIA accusation as a fabrication. And as a friend of WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange, he claims he knows the source of the email leak and that it wasn't Russian. He elaborated on his statement for us.
There can't be any evidence that it was Russia that hacked into Hillary Clinton's emails, because it wasn't Russia. It was an insider who was disgusted by the corruption of the Clinton circle, and who decided to leak this material. I know that for certain. What the CIA are saying is just a blatant, outright lie. But partly it's to do with this growing amount of anti-Russian propaganda that's been coming out of the Obama administration. And it's also to do with the fact that there are an awful lot of very powerful people who are worried that Donald Trump will improve the relations with Russia. And as usual, you should follow the money, because the armaments industry, has got trillions of dollars expected from programs to bring Russia with offensive missile systems, all the heaping up of Cold War antagonism that leads to big, massive defense spending. So there's a lot of big money that wants to ruin the relationship between the United States and Russia.
16 minutes past midday this Monday afternoon here in Moscow. We're back in around 90 seconds with more, including a Danish MP who's come up with a radical proposal on how to tackle the refugee crisis. Stay with us for that one.